What's going on? This is Coach Marcus for Pro Fan Talk. And all hell's about to break loose tomorrow morning once everybody jumps on board with this Philadelphia Eagles Brandon Graham story. Brandon Graham on his show, his WIP show in Philadelphia, Howard Eskin was asking him some questions about the A.J. Brown situation. And I will say this, he was honest. He said that about 5 times during the conversation. Just being honest, because that's his personality, and I understand that. I get it. I just wish he would not have done that on this show, on that stage, because that is like throwing a lit match in a powder keg, and all hell is going to break loose tomorrow. So it'll be very interesting to see how the Eagles handle this. But I listened to the whole conversation, not just the clip, because the clip was bad enough. But I went back and listened to the whole conversation just to get the context. And I will say this first, because I know Howard Eskin has a reputation in Philadelphia. A lot of people don't like him. You could take that for what it's worth. But after hearing this conversation, I just want to make a point that at no time did it seem like Eskin was trying to lead BG down a path or trick him into giving out information. This was pretty much Brandon Graham being the open book, and once he got started, school was out, bro. He was gone. And he just, again, that's his personality, and he just kept rolling with it. And once again, I wish he wouldn't have said some of the stuff he said. I wish he would have stopped at a much earlier point. We're going to go through some of it. I'm going to play a couple of clips. Make sure you go to like the WIP website to listen to the whole thing so you can get context. It's not very long. It's about 15 minutes. The juicy parts. It's an hour show, but the juicy parts are about 10, 15 minutes. So, and I've just picked out about 30 seconds. So Howard asks him, so he said, how difficult is it to bring that under control, trying to get everybody on the same page and have people accept responsibility? And he was talking about when A.J. Brown came off the field angry, he was very demonstrative, and it was easy to see that he was upset. So let's hear how Brandon Graham answers.
Does it? The fans do it.
Oh, yeah.
But AJ did it too. So how tough, and you've seen it off and on for different years, how difficult is it to kind of bring that under control and try to get everybody on the same page and have people accept responsibility?
Now, that's not, he got straight to the point. He wasn't trying to lead him in any kind of crazy direction. Obviously, that was not a trick question, and he's not, and I'm saying this, I'm trying to put this out there because I know a lot of people are going to say Howard was trying to put BG in a different situation. Because like I said, a lot of people don't like Howard, but I'm just saying it did not come across that way to me. That was a very direct question. There was no curveball to it at all. And this is how BG answered.
How difficult is that?
It's difficult because, if you don't hold yourself accountable, there's nothing I can do anyway. Because we all have to be accountable for our actions and what we do.
Now, I wish he would have just stopped there. That was enough. I wish he would have stopped there. But he kept going. And it just kind of got worse. You go to about, I'm going to go a little bit further down. And this is what he says about what happens when you have stuff going on in-house. And I made some comments about this as a player on a team. When you got stuff that's happening in-house, in the family, in the locker room, you got to keep it there. Don't take it out. Now, that's kind of hypocritical because he's on the show talking about stuff that happened in-house. But, the cat's out of the bag, so I guess he was like, don't matter now. So let's hear what he's saying about stuff going on in-house.
Everybody entitled to their own own opinions. But when we got stuff in house and we play and we winning, it's just not a good look for the person complaining when you ain't complaining to the right person. That's all.
So he's talking about what he said was when we get stuff going on in house and we're winning. It's not a good look for the person complaining when they are not complaining to the right person. And that was a direct shot at AJ because AJ was in the press giving the one-word answers. And I know in AJ's mind, because this is what he did last year, he kept everything. He was trying to answer the question, and he was trying not to say too much because AJ is one of them type of person that he gonna say too much and gonna make the situation worse. So he was trying to keep the answer short and sweet because clearly he didn't want to talk, but he knew he had to do it. So he's hitting you with the one-word answers, the three-word answers, and everybody knows what it is. So ain't really much you can do about it. I don't think what AJ Brown said was that inflammatory, but I understand why people would. And it would have been better left alone if people would have just been up to their assumptions. But now with BG saying what he said, school's out. Everybody's going to have questions about this, and they're going to be asking questions for the rest of the week. Now, we fast forward a little bit further, and Howard asks, will Jalen accept the players coming to him directly? Will he accept the responsibility of what's going on? And this is interesting because BG kind of smirks while he's asking that question. And Howard and Eskin catches on to it. And he's like, why are you smiling? And this is, to me, this is the bomb part of the conversation.
Will Jalen accept the player coming to him directly and accept the responsibility? What are you smiling for? And accept the responsibility of what's going on here.
See, Howard couldn't even get the question out, and BG, knowing what the situation is, he was like, I already know where this is going. And here's the answer that to me, this is the bombshell that's going to go right at AJ Brown. There's no other way to paint it, put it, or any situation like that. This is going right at AJ Brown. Check out his answer.
Because it's more flip, just being honest. Yeah. You know, it's where
he's being honest.
The person that's complaining need to be accountable. And I'm just being honest. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he noticed. I don't know the whole story, but I know that one is trying.
So he said the one that's doing complaining, AJ, needs to be more accountable. That's a sniper right at AJ Brown. That, to me, that sounds like a film session issue. You complaining that you don't get the ball, but on this play you don't do this. On that play you don't do this. Now, I've watched film on them before, and there's been situations where AJ Brown doesn't block or something like that, where he gets lazy, gives up on the route. I've seen that before. So maybe that's what he's talking about. I don't know. But that was a direct shot. That was a straight jab to the jaw of AJ Brown by Brandon Graham. And that is, looking at this in the macro, the overall picture, that is not a good look right now. And that's the last thing we need right now, because this shit is going to blow up tomorrow morning. It is currently 1:30 in the morning right now. So that as this story hit, you start hearing more and more about this when I was watching the Monday Night Football. And the more I read, the more stuff started popping up. Twitter was on fire. This has got to be a trending story by now. And then on top of that, Monday Night Football, Ryan Clark addressed the situation at the end of the telecast. Ryan Clark has something to say, and I know Jason Kelsey had something to say about it earlier, but it was just about the whole situation of them winning the game ugly. It wasn't necessarily about the comments and the behavior and stuff like that, and it definitely wasn't about what Brandon Graham said. But Ryan Clark was talking specifically about what BG said and how that's going to affect the team going forward, because everybody's going to be asking those questions in the press conferences coming up. Everybody. Now, AJ Brown has been a real stand-up dude when it comes to situations like this. He's, regardless of what he said or how he acted, he doesn't shy away from the questions, and he's pretty direct like that. Jalen's the same way. Now, Jalen is very cryptic, whereas AJ is very direct. So this is what you get. And then Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco on the Uncle Ocho podcast, they was talking about the same thing with their 25,000 viewers. So this thing is blown up. This thing is trending. And it is going to be a firestorm of media questions for Brandon Graham, AJ Brown, Jalen Hurts, and most likely Nick Sirianni as well. So I don't know what they're going to do tomorrow at their pressers. It's going to be all over the place, man. It's going to be all over the place. So the only thing that's going to cure this is the game against Pittsburgh. And Jalen better have a good game, or it might be worse. Or not even necessarily a good game. I can't even say that. AJ Brown better get the ball. Because I'm releasing a video of me watching film, and Jalen Hurts was missing receivers. He missed AJ Brown 3 or 4 times. First play of the game should have been a touchdown. And Jalen saw him, just didn't throw the ball. He hesitated, double clutch, whatever you want to call it. AJ Brown was wide open. And that could have been the first strike on the first play of the game. He didn't deliver the ball. AJ was open. And there was about 2 or 3 more situations like that during the course of the game where he could have got him the ball, and he just didn't. He just went in a different direction. I don't know what the situation is. I don't know why he did it. That's the frustration part. Now, how you go about that can be questioned. But I said this before, seeing his reaction, even after a win, I understand it. Because it's not about give me the ball, and it's about you missed opportunities. And it could have cost them the game. They should have had 2 more scores in that game. That game should not have even been close. Carolina should not have had the opportunity to try to win that game. And that game, it falls on Jalen Hurts. Yes, he didn't fumble the ball. Yes, he got it done. Yes, he had a couple of good drives. But we should have dominated that team, and we didn't. So for all of the national media on Good Morning Football and all of that type of stuff, talking about we should be happy because we're 9-game winning streak and all of that kind of stuff, it's a nuanced conversation. And you can get wins. They're ugly wins, but the closer you get to the playoffs, this is the stuff that you got to get ironed out. It's like last year, just in a different form. Last year, we couldn't tackle worth crap, and it never got worked out. And when we got to the end, it was in shambles. Same thing, it's just manifesting in a different way. And this could be a lot more corrosive because, I look at it like this. If a bomb, if you in your house, if you in your locker room, and the bomb detonates outside, everybody on the inside is still relatively safe. But if that same bomb is detonated from the inside, everybody gets destroyed. So I hope they can get this together and make this right. Go Birds.